Welcome to a new episode of Ari's Quest Log. And today I want to show you something a little bit different. Today it's not a book review, and we're also not talking about a reading list. What I want to show is how I am building my personal book library and how I document that in my reading roadmap. For me, reading isn't just about finishing books, it's about how they slowly become part of my life. And before we start, if you are not yet subscribed, you can subscribe. And if you like this video, then it would be great if you give me a thumbs up. But it's not required, you can just enjoy the video. If you recall the plan was that with 10 subscribers I would eat an apple cake, a piece of apple cake, and well, I did not do that at the time because it was Christmas, so I ate a Christmas bread instead. But I've now bought my apple cake. I did not made it myself. Maybe I will do that at some time. But as you can see, I have my apple cake, and no cream on top. I don't. Well, I have to think about my shape. I also have my coffee. It's a delicious apple cake. And good coffee. What else do I want? Well, this is a moment to enjoy, and that is also important, to enjoy yourself. Doesn't always have to be really strict and you know. I love it. When I say book library, I don't mean just a shelf of books. I mean a collection that reflects what I am interested in, what I want to learn, and what period of my life a book belongs to. Some books are there to be read once. Others, they stay with me for decades. And that's why I started documenting them instead of just stacking them, which I also do. But yeah, you see my point. To keep track of this, I use a reading roadmap in a Google Sheets. Right now, I have 64 books logged. And the sheet isn't about the speed of reading or goals, it's about clarity. For each book, I log a few things. The author's gender and nationality, the genre of the book, the language the book is written in, but also the original language, the original publication era, the number of pages, and my reading intent, and the reading roadmap the book belongs to. And the intent, my intent, and the reading roadmap is important. They are important because not every book is meant to be read in the same way. Some books I read to learn something new, some I read to apply knowledge, some are reference books I come back to, and some books are simply there to be enjoyed. By logging the intent, I remove pressure from myself. I don't expect the same thing from every book, and it makes reading calmer and more sustainable. When I add a new book, I usually do a bit of research first. I look up who is the author, where is the author from, when was the book originally published, and some more things. And it is not to judge the book, but to understand its context. As example, a book written in the 1990s is from a different world than a book written today. And I like being aware of that before I start reading. Okay, so today I am adding book number 65 to the library. Now this number is not a milestone or celebration that we reached book 65. It is just another entry in a growing system. That said, I'm eager to know how many books I currently have in my collection. And yeah, this is what documenting looks like in practice. One book at a time. Now, some parts of my library, they go back a long way. Good example is my Star Trek book series. They are obviously connected to Star Trek. I bought the first two books, were actually number 7 and number 8 in the 1990s. And over the years, that series stayed incomplete. Until last year, when I finally bought the 6 books I was missing. So this is a reading journey that spans decades actually. And that is something I really like about having a documented library. It shows how my interests evolve, pause, how they continue. And this system helps me to keep track of my library. And it also makes it easier to decide what I want to read next and to see what I've already read since I started tracking it. I'm not trying to read more than anyone else. I'm just building my library. One that makes sense to me and one I can return to. Now, this reading roadmap isn't finished and it never will be. It's a living document, just like this channel. Yeah. Thanks for watching and thanks for being part of the journey. This is Ari Quest Log. Signing out. And I hope to see you next time.